no haters, you ain't poppin'. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', nigga. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin'.
What's up, guys? This is JayvynStudios here, FTW, and today I believe it is time that we take a look at this long overdue look at the situation that's going on with Star Wars Galaxy Edge over at good old Disneyland. The Mercury News brings us an article that was published a couple of weeks ago on 5 reasons why Disneyland feels uncrowded since Star Wars Galaxy Edge opened, by Brady McDonald. Thank you very much, Brad. Disney officials finally acknowledged the light summer crowds at Disneyland following the opening of Star Wars Galaxy Edge have resulted in a 3% decline in attendance at the Anaheim theme park. Right. So if you're just new to the whole, how should I say, Disney's Galaxy Edge park fiasco. So basically, the park wasn't really received very well. It wasn't. There's only one ride. There's only a couple of shops. There's one canteen place where you can get all these beverages and whatnot. They have green milk and blue milk. Nope, that doesn't sound better than soy milk. I'm gonna continue on here. That's not necessarily bad news for Disneyland. Oh, really? Which actively sought to manage crowds after the launch of Star Wars Land to maintain an exceptional guest experience in the often crowded park. Exceptional guest experience. Right. Wouldn't that cost, tons of millions of dollars, maybe even $1 billion would be appropriate for that, just to go all out for this park? Would have been mind-blowing. It would have been fantastic. It would have been great. You would have kept that 3% of park goers for Star Wars. You would have kept them if you went all out. But no. Revenue increased 7% to $6.6 billion, and Disney's parks, experiences, and consumer products division during the most recent quarter, according to the company's latest earnings. Okay, here's the first reason: fewer annual pass holders. The overall decline in attendance at Disneyland was due to lower annual pass holders visitation. Just say the same thing. Why not just put the quote there? As we managed demand for the first few weeks after opening the Star Wars Galaxy Edge in order to maintain a higher level of satisfaction, McCarthy said. Right. Here we go again, a higher level of guest satisfaction. Moving on to number 2, crowd concern. This was the big one. This was the one that I believe Bob Iger ran home with on his list of excuses why the park is underperforming. Crowd concerns. Star Wars Galaxy Edge debuted on May 31st at Disneyland with a 24-day reservation-only soft opening period. On June 24th, the Anaheim theme park deployed a virtual queue boarding pass system for Galaxy's Edge that has been used sparingly, if at all, ever since. Concerns about crowding at Galaxy's Edge caused visitors to stay away from Disneyland, Iger said. Yep, I don't have time for your PR excuses. Number 3, higher ticket prices. This one I agree with. This one I agree with. A hike in Disneyland ticket prices contribute to the lower attendance at the Anaheim theme park. Bob Iger said, okay, I agree. At least he said something right. Disneyland raised ticket prices in January. Excuse me. With higher prices during peak times and lower prices on less crowded days. We do not feel that we have pricing issues at our domestic park. Oh god. So you admit, where's the quote? There it is. Do you admit that a hike in Disneyland tickets and everything else in the land contributed to the lower attendance cost? You admit that. But later on you say you feel that we do not have a pricing issue at our domestic parks. Seriously? What? Seriously? Number 4. And this continues on with the higher prices. I don't know why he just decided not to put them in the same reasoning. It's the same reason for me. Higher hotel prices, higher ticket prices. When I just say higher park prices overall, that would just save a lot more space and for you to be more specific. But no, journalism, guys, journalism. Brought to you by the Mercury News. An increase in local Anaheim area hotel prices contributed to the lower attendance at, he just said the same thing. Disney guaranteed access to Galaxy's Edge during the initial 24-day reservation only window, and each registered guest staying at the Disneyland Hotel, Disney's Grand Californian Hotel, or Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel. Excuses, man, excuses. All these excuses. Okay, number 5. We're almost done here. Opening Galaxy's Edge with only one of 2 planned attractions also affected Disneyland attendance, Bob Iger said. Yes, at least you're honest about that. Or are you trying to fake it? Like you faked the other quote. The Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run Flight Simulator opened at Disneyland on day 1, May 31st. That was day 1. The rise of the Resistance Dark Ride will open at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida, December 5th. And that's the Disneyland. Wow. Okay. Notice those huge gaps between the Millennium Falcon day 1 launch to the Rise of Resistance Dark Ride. Notice those huge gaps. A long amount of time. That's like 7 months. That's like 7 months. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And Disneyland, they get in late January. Goodness me. Interest in the attractions and the land is extremely high. Okay. We have no concerns whatsoever about them, blah 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 blah. More PR talk. A nearly identical version of Galaxy's Edge is scheduled to open August 29th at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida. Good God, where to begin? Where to even begin? I don't... wow. Bombshells, guys. Bombshells. And there's a lot more I'm gonna have to cover with with good old Disney in the future, of course. But here's the thing that bothers me. And it's gonna bother anyone. It's going to continue on until they just right out confess that the park is a failure which they might as well say it because no one cares about the parks as well. It was a mistake basing the park on the sequel trilogy, the Disney trilogy of Star Wars, instead of the original trilogy, or instead of the prequels trilogy. But here's the thing that bothers me. It's these Disney diehard influencers. All they're going to do is damage control for Disney. They're going to market Disney. They're going to sugarcoat it. They're not going to tell the truth. They're just going to flat out lie or sugarcoat it, like this article does. It doesn't bother going into detail on how many things in a park, went up in their price, on the amount of attendance, how bad the attendance is in the parks. And I know this was published 2 weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. But still, and it doesn't even bother mentioning that the prices increased 3 times in the past 2 years. It ignores all those things that Disney is doing behind closed doors, and it's just sugarcoats it. That's what's going to happen nowadays. That's what's going to happen. There's a lot of sugarcoating. There's going to be a lot of, white knighting in the media, and they want to preserve those passes Disney has for them. They want to go to the parks for free. They want to get those perks, those insider perks. They want to get inside the park early, get those previews, get those likes and clicks and whatnot. It's the whole game. That's all it is going to be. That's all it's going to be. So, what I would say to you, to those who are still diehard Disney fans, trust your sources, but trust your own judgment as well. If you go to the park and you say you like it, then that's fine. That's fine. You can like what you want, but there's no denying that there are budget cuts. There always has been budget cuts. I can't stress this enough. There's been budget cuts for Toy Story Land. There's been budget cuts for Star Wars Galaxy Edge. That's because they promise so much and they fail to deliver at least half of that. This is JayvynStudios signing out. Have a good one.